Welcome back to another video on the Rest Away and to another edition of AEW Dynamite Out of 10 as we continue the build towards Revolution. Hangman Adam Page and MJF looks to settle their stipulation for the World Championship match at that show, and the Women's Tag Championships are on the line on this show, including some other big matches as well. Orange Cassidy v Gabe Kidd, and kicking things off, Jon Moxley versus El Clon. Mox quickly found himself struggling to keep up with the speed and fluid athleticism of Clon, who bounced back right from his early offense. The Luchador particularly took over after a dive to the floor and moonsault off the apron, both delivered with effortless flair. Mox almost got a count-out win with a stomp on the apron. When Clon returned to the ring, the Death Rider clotheslined him back outside, followed by a tope suicida of his own to keep his momentum. Clon fought back with a moonsault to the floor on Mox, but back in the ring he dived into a cutter that laid both men out. The Death Rider finally caught the Luchador with a paradigm shift to get the victory. With each performance, Clon's impressed more. His ability to twist his body and sell is unlike anyone in AEW. He was never going to beat Mox as he prepares for Takeshita. However, he did enough to show he could hang with the best of him. And yeah, the Death Rider consistently delivered good matches, and it feels like it's going to ramp up still. 7 out of 10. Moving on into a video recapping Omega v Swerve, including the vicious post-match attack. Nana arrived to introduce the most dangerous man. Swerve stepped up on the announce table and explained he was no longer living with regret. He was doing his best and what he needs to do to get back the world title, and warned the entire locker room to watch out for him. This was a fantastic promo, saying why he did what he did, and he would get what he wanted. He also sold his successful journey in AEW, eliminating the Elite and setting up a likely future match with Brody King to prove he's the most dangerous man. The promo time was focused and didn't overstay its welcome. Swerve was in and out, leaving a lasting impression as AEW's new top heel. So yeah, good stuff. As we then moved on to Orange Cassidy versus Gabe Kidd, the focus Kid leaned quickly into what it's like to deal with Cassidy. Freshly Scree rolled away from the offense and threw out slow shots instead of matching Kidd's intensities. The mind games lured the young bull into the mistakes, including setting up a beach break to nearly steal the win. However, Kidd kicked out and landed a pile driver to seal his victory. After the win, the young bull brought out Connors to do without more damage, but Darby arrived to send both War Dogs running. A fantastic matchup where Cassidy quickly showed why he's a perfect partner for Kidd. The mind games of Freshly Squeezed pushed the young bull to nearly lose it, but he kept enough focus to seal the win this time round. Kidd picked up an important win over the former champ, making him feel like a more serious threat to the Daredevil in their Revolution match. It was nice to get a better sense of the long-term goal of the War Dogs too. Were they just going to be here beyond Revolution? Who knows? 7 out of 10. As we then moved on to Kevin Knight, who made quick work of Mansoor, finishing the contest with a UFO splash. Afterwards, guaranteed Page would defeat MJF at Revolution, and the Jet wanted the first shot at the world title. This was a fine showcase and continues to pick up good wins, looking good. It would have been nice to see a lengthier contest though, just because Mansoor and Madden delivered in their CMLL run and deserve more time on AEW TV. Hopefully they get that time soon. They don't need to win, just spotlight. Knight's challenge to Hangman would be interesting. More sense for him to go after Cole Fletcher, I'd say, at the moment, but who knows what will happen and yeah, where it may lead. I'm going to give this segment line a 4 out of 10. As we then moved on to MJF, who convinced Hangman to use a coin toss between two stipulations, Texas Death or a one-sided DQ. The Soul of the Earth won the coin toss, but then refused to let anyone see the coin as he looked to leave. Jet Speed and Brodido arrived to send their MJF back into the ring to reveal that it's one-sided coin. Tony Khan then declared through Tony Schiavone that the stipulation was officially Texas Death. A simple, fun segment made the most of continuing the angle. It's fairly obvious the coin was a cheap trick from MJF, but it was a nice touch to hear his music before Hangman question the coin use. The appearance of Jet Speed and Bandido also a smart touch, furthering not only the dynamic but also Brody King and Bandido's issues with MJF. The main problem in this segment was the Master Manipulator looked stupid. The match is set though, and I think it's going to be a great win, a great match. I don't know who could win it. I think it could go either way. As we then moved on to the Babes of Wrath versus Mega Bad for the Women's Tag Championship. And after a strong start for the Babes of Wrath, Ford turned the tide with an Asai moonsault, was landing the bad for the bad girl though, and he held to the back. As the Babe and the Wrath went after the Megacyst, Lena Cross attacked with the Women's World Tag Team Championships, causing an obvious DQ. Kane and Bane beat the champions down with the Megacyst pose for the TBS title. Because it ended abruptly due to a serious injury, it's hard to grade this match, but they were moving smoothly and Jen never really quite got onto it. AEW rarely does DQ finishes, so hopefully it's just for Fall's injury and hopefully it's not too bad. The post-match indicates that Megacyst has got a greater focus on the TBS title. The other option is for Cross and Bane to start teaming up. AEW's moved slowly so far and getting Cross climb title in competition, but you know, they would definitely stand out in the women's division. Two of the biggest men in AEW then collided when Brody King faced Mark Davis in a physical war. However, due to a hand injury, Davis slowed while King stayed strong, sealing the win with a strong lariat. Afterwards, King made it clear he wanted to face Swerve at Revolution. Swerve and Nana watched backstage, seemingly accepting the match. Bandido also called for a fight at Revolution, and Andrade answered the challenge. A delightful clash between two big men, blasting each other with crossbodies and lariats. The result was never in question, but King leads the momentum for a challenge to the most dangerous men. Hopefully, more will be done in the build-up to Bandido and Andrade in the coming week, because that might be the match of the night with strong heat. So yeah, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. As we then moved on to a Mile High Madness main event, FTR and the Demand versus the Young Bucks, Jack Perry and the Rascals. When Tarzan Boy played, the FTR and the Demand beat down Jungle Jack, starting the Mile High Madness early. They fought all over the arena, stadium stampede style, until the music ended and talent started to congregate towards the ring. The contest didn't feature many pinfall attempts because there were too many wrestlers around to break them up early. However, the Demand took over the ring down the stretch, even with the babyfaces repeatedly targeting the group. Tables broke around the ring until Ricochet was alone to take a Young Bucks assisted running knee from Perry to get another pinfall victory over the one and only. While it's basically stadium stampede with less spotlight, everyone involved made this feel like quintessential AEW from the off. Matches like this are the company's bread and butter. It was all fun. It was wild action, building to a furious series of climatic moves. Not only did it give Matt and Nack some revenge over FTR, but it gave Jungle Jack a big win. Whatever happens at Revolution, this should be the last time the one and only collided with Perry. It'd be surprising if Jungle Boy doesn't finally win the gold. The Rascals also have their own title shot to come against FTR, so both faces come out of this looking like the uncrowned champions. So yeah, I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10. Good stuff. Overall, Dynamite this week gets a 5 out of 10 from me. AEW set a high bar early this year, and it just felt like this show maybe didn't quite match it. Some of that was down to bad luck, such as Penelope Ford's injury. There's no kind of Tony Storm appearance. The rest of the episode just kind of felt like bit meh, barring the main event, which was great. Multiple revelation matches were teased. Brody v Swerve, Bandido versus Andrade. But there was some weird absences, such as Tanosuke Takeshita as well. So yeah, it's a good Dynamite that continues to set the stage. But I don't know, it just wasn't maybe the forgettable night some maybe would have hoped for. That's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Follow us on our socials. Link in the description below for daily wrestling news, meme and content. Subscribe to our other channels on screen right now. That'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.